Should we talk about something intelligent today? Ah, they'd probably like us too, right? Even though nobody sees that shit because we don't have any fucking followers over there, but doesn't matter. Yeah. So really, what we're likely, going to devote the second half of our life to is well, actually, we're just going to create our own personality profile because I know how they do it, and I really like the predictive index one the best because of the way the chart works. I mean, you have to have it with the paid version when you're doing a corporate or whatever. They just tell you the same thing like a disc or 16 personalities. I think 16 personalities is the most user friendly one. I like the graphic art they use. It makes it easier for people to visualize and understand what's going on, but no, for real, because like I can, I was talking about it in league of what my father could do back in the day, but I do it, you know, almost as good. We'll say yes. Let's be, but yeah, like there could be 20 people in the room in 20 fucking minutes. I'll tell all 20 of them what they are and get 100% of them, 85% correct or better. It's not difficult when you think about it through subcategory each section. I mean, some people, if you haven't spoken to them at length, but there's a couple good questions, you'll know what they are. Um, but what's really important, what I want to, like I said, kind of devote the second half of my life to is teaching people how to. I mean, one thing I'm going to do, it's just going to be I don't say devote my life to. Maybe it's one of the things I want to leave intellectually here. Okay, but devoting how to not just hire and train salespeople, but really hire anybody based on personality profiles. And I don't want you to not hire them because they don't fit if um, but I want the world thinking more about how to make the world happy. And the way you do that is really when you're doing tasks that align well to um, your your dopamine, basically. I mean, your dopamine hits, and if so no, I shouldn't say that because not everybody that's a problem or as relevant, I guess you want to say, right? Um, but but when you're doing tasks and you're being rewarded for those tasks based on that, you know what I mean? It just helps everybody have more fun and be more efficient, right? Um, so we're going to create our own though because none of them are sufficient, but they're good. I mean, I don't want to say they're not sufficient. They are sufficient, but they're not perfect as they can be, right? Um, and so, what really, really bothers me is that I see all these companies using them and then like not applying anything they learned from the assessment, right? Like it was just like, there's so much shit I can't say because I signed fucking non-disclosures and shit, but like, so I won't mention any names or anything. I'll just say that like you'll see them. They want you to, and I half the time I'm just spying on them. Like they think I'm fucking applying, dude. I'm just seeing what you're doing, dude. Um, and anyway, I mean that's not to say anything I ever applied for means I'm spying on you. I'm just saying like, let's not even get into it. But they want you to fill all this shit out. Like, what are you doing with the information? That like the next step in your process is torture the people based on applying none of that, right? Like, and I get there's other things like they try to put you through these processes at times where they want to see, kind of what you look like when you're flustered or when you crack. In reality, we would never be in that position, right? So like I'll humor you once, right? But no, like we would have to have our shit perfectly down before we don't allow people to see us like that, right? And then so when they start wanting to put you on, I'm getting off on a tangent, you know what I mean? But all these zooms and stuff, it's because they're spying on you, trying to get what you do. I'm not giving you what I do. So that's why I like being in person because it's more valuable in a way, right? If they can just study your every fucking mannerism and then try to, teach you. I mean, I don't know, dude. I wouldn't think it's happy, but see, because people are predatory like that. They are. But that's neither here nor there. What I mean, though, is why do you want the information if you're not applying it correctly? And so, where it really becomes important is in transaction cycle times, and just activity level. You know what I mean? Some people are just way better at certain types of tasks, and they're just always going to be, and they're way more motivated at them just because of the way their chemistry and their brain works. You know what I mean? But instead of like people think about people, I mean, we tend to, what the world does, and they do it unconsciously, and then if you talk about it, they get mad at you about it, is doing everything based on IQ, right? I mean, in a way, because everybody's jammed into these unnatural categories and positions, and then it just becomes who did them better because they were fucking smarter. You know what I mean? Where if we naturally, and I'm not talking about this from you know, an urban planner position, because it's not, the government. It's not, some fucking big brother like force that's going to do it. Though I suppose it could, right? But it's really more the more the free market knows this shit. So, the 16, it's easy. I mean, it's just the way you process information. We can give you a quick rundown about whether you're intuitive or you're fucking extroverted or introverted. But there's huge variation in that. Like, you can, so I'm an ENTP, right? Like, who the hell don't know that? But, you can be an ENTP and, like, if 4 of your categories are 85%, you can be as different as another ENTP where everything was 55% versus one where you're like one off, right? Like you're, 85, 45 the other way on 185. I mean, that person, you got to look at the next one down as well. You actually need the percentages, and that's why I like what Predictive Index does, because you can see the chart, you can see how many sigmas, and it will change sometimes. People sometimes report. Now, I've been an ENTP since I was a little kid. It's never changed anytime I've ever taken the test. And that's probably because most of my shit is pretty high. But one of them is like a 55, 45, and yet it never dips below that thing any time I take it. So that matters. But it does change according to some people at different times in their life, and that's probably the ones that are right on the border. But I've even seen people said they take it, and it was like a 67 one day, and then they were on the other side the other. So I don't know. But that's what I also like about Predictive Index is the way they do it in two different ways, so they can show what your current concept is versus what you more are intrinsically or inherently, right? So I like all that. And then I like what they do with the M score, because it really does show what kind of pressure you can put a person under. You know what I mean? What kind of, like, what they can deal with before, I'm fucking freaking out, not being able to handle it. But you can know that information without having to do that to the people, right? Like, I'm seeing some of these processes where, like they're intentionally doing that to see who's going to flake and who could do it. But, like, all this fucking shit with the tech, and I get, like, in some of these things, like, if it's a telesales position, for example, you want to make sure the person's, tech savvy at least. Like, they got to be able to fucking operate a webcam and get on the fucking thing and blah, blah, blah. But, like, dude, you're taking fucking a week, 10 days to get all these people up and fucking running. My guy will just, you share your screen. He'll set up your fucking Trello, your phone burner, your fucking Google Calendar, your Meet, all that shit in 20 minutes. Like, why are you torturing the salespeople? Dude, fucking Lloyd, you give him 17 opportunities to plug a modem into a wall. He'll miss 16 fucking times in a row and then murder the whole room. Like, you know what I mean? In sales, like, fuck, like, you're just losing all your best people, dude. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, no, I just wanted to give you a little bit about, behind the scenes kind of some of the shit I'm writing while we're doing everything else we're doing. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to go work on some pitches. We got to fix some shit. But yeah, just in case you thought we were, crazy. Yeah, we're not. Oh, but but the other thing though, it's really it also is a lot to do with how those traits relate to one another. Like they don't exist in a vacuum. That's the other thing I liked about kind of Predictive Index, at least in their training shit. It's not you're this or you're this. How much of this you are versus how much or little you are of the other quadrant, right? Where with the personalities, you can kind of see it on a graph, and so you can see if they wing down this way or that way. But that actually, though accurate, doesn't tell you as much. And then there's other things that I think should be included in it, though I don't know how you do it strategically without people lying to you. But I give psychology a bunch of shit, but like your adverse childhood score, it's gonna tell you a lot about a person, right? Not again. not everything, and you don't want to exclude people based on it. You don't want to fucking, because people get over shit. And, some of them have been through fucking therapy for years and they're fine, and others, it was never that high, but there's other reasons they're maladjusted. But, some way to get that in for, I don't want to give out too much, but you know what I'm saying? It's how they, because then, you're not going to buy it. But it's how those traits actually interact with each other, and we get pretty deep into that because nobody else really does, you know what I mean? So, just a little bit, anyway. Body, you, and you don't give a fuck what, who you thought. You JK on the track just cause we straight like that. I put 100 on a third 12 and a G on black. I got a croupier that can drop it where I be like that. And a stupid flow, the truth is, I see most cats don't have a clue. And when we crap, I bet we be right back. I can fix your pitch, but there's no way to fix bad man. Pitch anything and flip a script like I be on clap. The bullshit like Dan Kennedy, a renegade, no telling G. But we gon' see particularly, explicitly, specifically the second act we shine and being high while we rhyming G. See why we climbing by this time next year as Cleve will be sitting on about fucking 3 more stacks, and that's a given. Hit so many parlays that fucking FanDuel changed their algorithm. Shit, I was killing them, ice grilling the security when they see me coming. Shit becomes an emergency. Not trying to be macho, but watch how I make a Bloody Mary with gazpacho, breakfast the champion. Turn the empty bottles into lamps in my camp. Militant, not gorilla pimps, more sugar, cause we do love them hoes, but we love everybody, so everybody know, I never once been unfaithful with my wife. I had enough sex for 10,000 lifetimes. This shit bores me most days. I'm not that horny, but warn me about these landmines like Stormy Daniels trying to extort me. I apply the Pence rules, but gents cool as a cucumber still get juked under a fucking, you know what, forget whatever I was gonna say, but what's actually cool about a cucumber anyway? Why, that's even a thing, a cliche, but hey, it's JK, teaching kids off the corner how to be sheep no more like Jonathan Gilliam. Girl, you be killing them like Fab, and knowing the avenues of approach, critical times and assets before your ass gets surprised. But no lie, you can drop me off anywhere, any hood, any country, and trust me, like Jada said, you just gotta feel the kid, if not rap for the fact that how it really is. And that was true, because he was the first one I ever heard throw current prices on wax, What I mean, he was like, give me all my royalty, let me read, and I'ma have O's for 6 and halves for 3. And at the time, though, it wasn't my thing, it was when my guy Mogs, but we were doing exactly that, bro. We were like, yo! If y'all ain't bitches and you're money hungry, basically, I got a plan to make your gym like outer space, and we got it locked up like a case for he, him. Watch your pronouns, all this stupid shit now, fucking clowns piss me off, and so I see that CIA, they always got the same crowd, low-key, polite, intelligent, ask all the right questions, kinda metro but not gay, get a smile out of them. But if you think I don't know, you're tripping, bro. I know all you and all who you are. It's fine, because surprisingly, I actually like most of them most of the time. Just don't want to work for them, so miss me with that. I gotta spin on a track so they stop harassing me. They got concerns when I got Donald Trump elected, Billy Bush weekend, because we ended the plan with a phrase. So one day, maybe, they'll give me credit for changing history. It ain't no mystery. But what do I care, killer? If you want to get elected, I write tight as Stephen Miller, straight like that. And you can bet that's why they shadow ban me with hate like that. But it doesn't matter, because the ones that matter and stay fatter than a killer whale stay on my gray matter under my flat cap while I play man as a hatter. But the latter is just an act, because in fact my ego isn't as swollen as my bladder. So I'm gonna go take a piss. Actually, just hold the ladder while I whip it out, and I'll try not to splatter you down below, We ain't gotta go back because got a little bit of a late start, so a little behind now. It was simultaneously Simon Mall, Atlas Gray, all day. It's JK. Hear what I say, what I'm spitting, because I'm about to deliver a master class on psychology. And we don't need a degree, because we're just going to make undeniable sense, you see, and then spawn a bunch of clones. But I just like seeing who likes my shit when I'm nobody. There's so many joint ventures and non-disclosures, but the shit I can tell you, that's why I'm going to sell you the real after I'm gone. You know why? Because that's the shit that keeps them wanting me to keep keeping the fuck on. Yeah. me. We motherfucking yeah, I'll give you the next fucking verse some other time. Yeah. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Fucking think you know who you're talking to. You don't even know who you're talking to. Yeah.